Whoa, morning Trainiacs. I just got back from Tucson, so I was scrunched up in a plane yesterday, and I didn't want to do anything crazy intense, so I came in, did a little fluid running workout, and what I was testing for fluid running is the idea of HIIT training during deep water running. It was hard. High intensity interval training. Stay tuned for that. But the super interesting thing for all of you, especially if you're on Team Trainiac, that we just did is NTK just came with me to the pool early in the morning before work, and we filmed the progression of drills for Team Trainiac. I'm going to share that with you and tell you some updates. There's some good updates. Trainiacs, it is good to be back in the pain cavern. Actually, kind of funny to be saying that when, let me show you something. See that? You see that right there? Minus 31 with a wind chill that makes it feel like minus 40. Those numbers this morning were minus 40 and minus 50. So, marginally good to be back. Now, so when it comes to swimming, talked about this a lot. Apparently there is a drinking game out there that is the Triathlon Terran Tower 26 drinking game, where every time I say Jerry Rodriguez, you have to take a sip. Every time I say Tower 26, you gotta take 2 sips. And if you pass out before the end of the video, you lose. I support those rules, that's fair. But that doesn't mean that it is bad advice. So tautness, alignment, propulsion, those are the 3 keys that Jerry Rodriguez uses for effective triathlon swimming, and what I have adopted and what last week allowed me to get 7% faster in my time trials from last year to this year. Stuff's legit. Now, addressing the first couple of issues, tautness and alignment, they are very, very related, and there are some very easy drills that you can do that NTK was on pool deck with me this morning filming. But when you do them, how you do them, the order that you do them in, it's very, very specific. Just doing drills for the sake of drills makes absolutely no sense. Now, what are those drills, you might ask? There are a lot of kicking drills. I'll walk you through them in a second, but I want to say that kicking is not to enhance propulsion. Kicking as an age group triathlete, because we have very stiff ankles from running, we pretty much all do, our propulsion is maybe going to be in between about 2 and 5% of our total forward motion coming from the kick. Some people, when they do kick sets, might even go backwards, so it's negative propulsion. Now, if you do a bunch of kick sets trying to improve your kick, even if you make it twice as good, you might go from 3% to 6%. It's not going to make as big a difference as if you focus on things that are more important, like body line, getting your legs up to the surface of the water. Body alignment, making sure that you aren't going side to side, that your legs aren't spreading really wide, that you aren't wiggly, like body tightness, stiffness, firmness. These make a huge difference, and the analogy that I like to use is think about pushing a pool noodle across the surface of the water of a pool. Really difficult, really slow. That's what your body's like when you aren't tight and aligned. Now think about pushing a 5,000-pound log across the surface of water. Happens really quickly because it's really stiff and aligned. How do you build that tautness and alignment? That's where these drills come in, and I'll outline them to you. Okay, let's get ourselves more room here. So, what these drills are is a progression of just straight out kicking to gradually getting ourselves more and more similar to actually swimming. Now, all of these workouts are built into the Tower 26 program, and we are working on building them into Team Trainiac. More on that in a second. Okay, so number one, you start with fins, snorkel, kickboard. Way overhead, extend your arms, look straight down at the bottom of the pool, kick with a very narrow kick and focus on back of head, butt cheeks, heels at the surface of the water. Really, really narrow kick. Don't shimmy side to side. So we first take away the kickboard, then we take away the fins, then we bring the fins back, and then we go into side kicking at a slight angle. Then we go into side kicking at a slight angle with one arm swimming, focusing on our hand being in a proper hand channel. Then we go into side kicking and then taking 3 strokes with the proper hand channel. And as you build all of these skills, you are focusing on the same things. Back of head, butt cheeks, heels at the surface of the water, feet in a nice, tight, narrow kicking space so they're not spreading far apart. Arms in that distance between the edge of your head and edge of your shoulders at all times. And if you do that, you're building yourself into that log that can move across the surface of the pool really, really easily. And that is really simple to do. The hard part is when you do it in a workout, how you do it in a workout, when you do it in a season, so it doesn't interfere with all of your season plans and getting ready for races. But that's what plans like Tower 26 and our program is. So that's what we worked on today. What I now have to do is start taking all of those videos and uploading those to Team Trainiac. I'm gonna give you there have been some good updates on Team Trainiac. Let me show you. All right, so number one, check this out. Once people become a full paid athlete on Team Trainiac, they go through an on-ramp email sequence, and right now I have been recording. We've got 13 days of about anywhere from 4 to 7 minute audio files where every single day you get guidance on how to build endurance. What happens if you substitute a workout? What's the difference between your first week in a cycle, second week, and the rest week? How to understand the efforts of swimming, percentage of like 70, 75, 80%. What happens if you can't do a swim workout? Where do you start? Training with zones. All of these things so that you can take all of the workouts that are given to you and then bring it into real life. And as life gives you scheduling changes and sickness and all these things that you're like, ooh, how do I take these workouts and adjust them? You know how to do it on your own. Instead of having to pay that several $100 a month coach, you can do it on your own with all of the workouts that we give you. Next, some fun things that have been asked for that we've already been updating because, as I said, this is like a Tesla. We're just constantly rolling out updates to make this better and better. But people, if they missed a workout, they want to be able to go back and see what it was. So you can go into your workout plan and see previous workouts. And today's Wednesday, and I could go back and I could make up for my Monday workout or my Tuesday workout. Also, in addition to that, how it worked when it rolled out was you could only check as complete today's workouts. Well, go forward. What if you need to move tomorrow's workout up? Well, you can now check those off. Next thing here is I'm starting to nip off adding video and like more detailed instructions for certain aspects of the workout. So here's an example here. In a main brick run, I have indicated some bounding strides and fast feet to have within the workout. Now, what are bounding strides and fast feet? Well, here is an asset. We call these an asset in our super fancy software lingo, where it explains what bounding strides are, and there's a video instruction for how to do it. Strides and fast feet, and explain what we're trying to accomplish with each. So look at this video here, and I want you to see. So just like that, if you get the hang of it and you want to all of a sudden get this out of your workout and it's cluttering it up, well, you collapse it, and all of a sudden, every time that asset is in future workouts, it's not going to be taken up because it's going to remember that you collapsed it and it's not there. All of those drills that we filmed today that I just talked about, those are all going to be inserted into these workouts where the drills are now included. And from developer Mike, I just got indication that right now Taper is live. It's been tested very heavily and is extremely stable. Well, what that means is you can add a race at any point in the year, and instead of just pulling from the database of workouts, it's going to pull from Taper workouts, and it's going to give you a Taper week if you're doing sprint, Olympic, or half Ironman, or a Taper 2 weeks if you're doing a full Ironman automatically. So you're not going to have to manage your tapers. This is going to manage it for you. So Trainiacs, I said that it was going to just get better as it goes, and like we are live now for 15 days at teamtrainiac.com, and it's better already. Okay, now if you didn't think that it was nasty outside, check this out. It's so cold out here that apparently Petey and Gracie won't even come outside to pee without getting booted out the door. So go sign up for Team Trainiac at teamtrainiac.com, please, because we need to make a living so we can get out of this deep freeze and live in a real place that isn't an ice box. All right, later, Trainiacs.